How's it going, Andrew?
What's going on, Matt?
Yeah, same old, except we're in Illinois recording.
It's my worst nightmare. Kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
We love our Illinois brethren.
Yep. Just some good old Wisconsin jokes.
Right.
But yeah, we're here at the Conference of Grandmasters of North America. Vibing.
Ooh.
Woke up at 5 a.m. Well, actually, I woke up at 4:40. Well, actually, technically, I woke up at 4, decided nah. Woke up at 4:30, decided nah. Woke up at 4:50 and said, I really got to do stuff. Then I took a shower and got changed into a suit, which is against my rules.
Yeah, well, you break those rules for annual communication every year. You can break them for this. This is a big deal. And I was up earlier than you because I had to drive 35 minutes to your house to pick you up. So
I'm just saying, no sun, no suits. That's my rule. At least at annual, sun's out.
Yeah, well, it's February. This is what you get. It's dark in the morning.
I hear ya. Well, awesome. Well, we're here today, and we're going to be doing interviews and having a great time, and it'll probably be the next couple of episodes contained in with this. So tune in, and we're going to have a great time, and I'm going to hit that music.
Loosen up your ties and roll up your sleeves. It's time for Fellowship with Matt and Andrew. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the Grand Lodge of Wisconsin or any other Grand Lodge or any appended body.
All right, we got a special guest coming down now. Can you please introduce yourself, brother?
Okay, I'm William Keith Powell from the state of Louisiana. I am the General Grand Council, Cryptic Masons International, Deputy General Grand Master, representing Masons from all companions and Cryptic Masons from all over the world. Being from Louisiana, I'm also a past Most Illustrious Grand Master, and past Right Eminent Grand Commander, which those companions and brothers and Sir Knights voted me to be their leader, and it's been a great pleasure to do this. When I came into Masonry, it's because of my grandfather and father was a Mason and wanted to be a Mason, and I sat around there and knew that at 21 you could become a Mason. But as the old generation would say, you have to ask to be one. Right. So one night, a gentleman came over with his wife who was master of the Sulphur Lodge in Sulphur, Louisiana, and it was a lodge night, meeting night for Moss Bluff Lodge. And when Mr. Whedon came in, I said, Mr. Whedon, my dad is a Mason, and I've been sitting there wondering how to get in here to Masonry. How do I get in? And all of a sudden, my daddy jumps up from his coffee cup, runs and gets the petition here. This is what we've been waiting for. So I quickly done what I had to do on the petition, and they went off that night, and like February or something like that, they brought my petition before the lodge. Of course, the committee came out and saw me. I loved the way my mom and dad, I was still living with them at 21 and still going to school. I was in college, and it was so funny. They get up and leave, and the next thing I know, I get a phone call. We'd like to come over and visit with you. So not being that dumb in a country boy, but anyway, had a great visit with the gentlemen. They passed, but many of those were my mentors as I grew up. It was a very great experience for me. As a young man, kind of brought some fire to the lodge, and I started studying about Masonry, and I believe that where I'm at today and been so lucky and so many being where I'm supposed to be, I put that in the hand of God. We are not a religious, but I believe that if we all look at within our heart, yes, there's trials and tribulations as we go through Masonry, but sometimes if we really look at it, it's the divine hand of our Lord that has put us where we're at today. And that's what I believe, and I go off that.
Right on. I actually, after hearing you list off all the different leadership positions you've been in, amongst all the years being involved in leadership at that high of a level, what was the most valuable lesson you've learned about leadership?
I think your honor, your integrity is very valued to the companions. Yes, in Masonry, as we go down the middle of a football field, I was a former football official. One side, when you threw the flag, you have that hate you because you just threw it against their team. The next time you throw, it's against the other they hate you. But then sometimes when you throw one, both sides hate you. But you be your best. You have to be as truthful as you can. And I'll tell you this. I would prefer the brother come to me and say, I want the truth. And then I'll tell them, I will give you the truth, whatever you ask, the way I know it and understand it. But remember one thing, truth hurts. Guys, we can lie, make everybody feel good. But the biggest thing, I don't care in politics, masonry, life itself, your wife, your friends, you either be as truthful as you can or you lie to make everything go well. And we all know. The wife comes to say, does this look good? Of course it does, dear. So, that's one of my biggest things. And then I enjoyed, and I listened to my mentors.
And I think what's fun, too, with the truth being the theme, I like that the symbol of truth is oftentimes justice with a sword and the scales because, the sword can hurt. It can cut you.
Yes, sir.
But, that's the funny thing is I find that too many leaders, like you're saying, will soften the truth to make everybody happy.
Yes.
And, Matt has said, and a lot of people have told us, if you're leading well, not everyone's going to be happy.
True. That's true. Guys, anybody that's a leader in masonry, as we look at it, you always have a target on your back. I don't care if it's knives or if it's arrows, spears, you have many in your back. But you have taken this course to be a leader. Yes, there are tough decisions in either side of being a leader.
Yep.
And you just pray. Don't answer too quick because I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get yourself riled up to be put in a corner to where you make a quick decision and then you have to stick by it.
Right.
I've learned that. I still do it because that's a trait that we have or we've grown up with. But I really attempt to listen. In the position that I'm at now, and I've learned that through 3 Grand Lines, it's really more of listening at this position on an international basis because I deal with domestic, Europe, Africa, and Far East. So the language barrier is very difficult.
Right.
I would say language barrier, if I come from the south and come up here to the north, yes, there is a language barrier. But make sure you're plain and you try to talk clearly as you can.
Right. I think you bring up a valuable point that we've discussed before on the show about circumspection and not being so quick to respond all the time. It's especially hard in today's world of constant communication with emails and text messages. It becomes really hard to slow yourself down and feel like I don't have to respond right now, but everybody expects you to respond right now. So it's good to take that moment and evaluate the situation before firing off a response.
I would say even looking at a text, because we all hear, no matter what media you have, and you hit it, the minute you hit that send, you can't bring him back.
Right.
Nope.
And it's just like gossiping, or it's just like anything else. Once you said something, it's out verbally, you can't take it back.
Right, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming down and doing a quick interview with us. I like that you kicked us off. You're our first guest of the weekend, so thank you for taking the plunge and taking the risk and joining us today.
Okay. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Stephen Britton. I am currently the Grand Royal Patron of Amaranth in Wisconsin. I've been a Mason for a little over 20 years now. Came to Masonry because I wanted to join Amaranth. My mom and most of her family had been in the organization for a long time, and both my dad and myself came into Masonry to join my mom in the organization. Gotcha. I have then came to love Masonry as a whole, not just that one organization. Past master of my lodge up in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Sure.
Still a member of my original lodge out in Connecticut where I grew up.
Okay.
It's a pre-Revolutionary War lodge. It was originally chartered from the Grand Lodge of England, which is pretty cool.
That's crazy.
My great uncle was master the year I was born, so there's a neat history in there.
Yeah.
Right on. Family connections in masonry. Yep.
So another Wisconsin boy coming to join us. Can you tell me more about the Order of Amarath? We used to have the meeting in our building, but I think they don't any longer. But I don't know much about it.
Yeah. So Order of the Amaranth is similar to Eastern Star in that it's a women-led, men-supporting organization.
Sure.
Originally, there were supposed to be 3 organizations. There was supposed to be Order of the Eastern Star, Queen of the South, and then Order of the Amaranth, and in kind of the same way that York Rite goes with chapter, council, and commandery.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the Queen of the South never took off, and so Eastern Star and Amaranth kind of started with their own thing. They are very much, the original ritual was written by Robert McCoy, who I think most people in Wisconsin are familiar with. Robert McCoy, Commandery number 3 in Wisconsin. He wrote the Amaranth ritual. I don't know if he wrote the Eastern Star ritual completely, but I know he was involved with that as well. My original Amaranth Court, Connecticut, is called Eliza A. McCoy Court number 1. It's the oldest operating Amaranth court in the country. Mm-hmm. Our theme since 1979 is we raise money for the Amaranth Diabetes Foundation, which directly supports the American Diabetes Association, providing usually about $500,000, $400,000 to half and change a year to support research into a long-term finding a cure for diabetes, but making life easier in the meantime. If you know anybody with an insulin pump, we supported the development of that. The constant glucose meters that people now wear, those little patch on the shoulder, goes to their phone or device, we supported the funding of that research. We are currently working on funding research for an artificial pancreas.
Okay.
That would solve a lot more problems than just diabetes, because you would look at pancreatic cancer and all of the endocrine functions of the pancreas. When that fails, it creates lots of problems in the body. We're also funding more research into using AI to help diabetics better manage their diabetes.
Like dietary stuff,
Dietary stuff of instead of having to write down packaging,
nutritional info.
They automatically can use AI to say, okay, this is how much insulin you're going to need to take based off of this is what you ate.
So instead of like vibe checking, like I'm going to eat something and see if it helps, it can be a little more scientific.
It can be a little more scientific. Hey, do I need to take insulin? Do I need to eat more? Using that AI to do something more useful than what we see a lot of AI being used for these days.
More elegant. A more elegant solution. That's awesome. So the Order of Amaranth, what would be the principles of the organization? I know every group has some sort of principle they highlight.
Truth, faith, wisdom, and charity.
There you go.
In our court level, there are 4 honored ladies, as we call them. The ladies are called honored ladies. The men are called Sir Knights. There are 4 honored ladies that sit in a square around the altar in the center of the courtroom, and each one has a banner behind them with one of those words on them. And in the ritual, those ladies represent that principle.
And I'm assuming some of their responsibilities tie in to the similar things.
Yes.
Cool.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Well, he is a past master, so we got to ask him the question. So on every episode that we have a past master on, and since we're doing quick hitters, we like to ask if you had one piece of advice to give to an incoming master or a soon-to-be master of a lodge, what would it be?
Plan. While you're senior deacon, plan, because that year goes by so fast. Things you wanted to do, ideas you come up with during that year, you will not have time to do. You need to have your ideas and your plans all made up before you're installed, or within that, by the middle of January at the latest if you're installed in December. And then you can get that information out to the brothers and start working on it, but you need to have that plan ahead of time. I did not plan well enough. My year ran away on me. We got stuff done. We had a great year, but I could have gotten more done if I had the chance.
So it's almost like plant the seeds early so that when you get there, you're not putting the seed in the ground and saying, does this have enough time to grow?
Correct.
Got it. Yeah.
Proper planning prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We'll see if I planted enough seeds. I'm currently sitting as master, so I'm hitting the rat race right now.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for coming on and joining us today for a quick hitter.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
right, we got a couple of special guests coming on now. Ladies, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lucinda Bell, and I'm the Miss International Job's Daughter.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline L. I am the Supreme Bethel Honored Queen.
Sure. So what got you guys into Job's Daughters?
My mum was actually a past member of Job's Daughters along with my aunt, and so I've basically grown up around Job's Daughters. I've been in and around the environment since before I could walk and talk, so you could say I was bred for it, I suppose.
I am a first generation Joby, so my dad joined because my great grandfather was a Shriner. So he joined Masons and then got us into Job's Daughters.
Sure. So what do you guys enjoy about being members of Job's Daughters? What's your favorite thing about being a Joby?
I think my favorite thing is definitely we get so many opportunities. There's so many learning opportunities where I'm challenged to grow and be better in my ability to memorize and my ability to speak with other people, but also it gives you the opportunity to work with a diverse group of people and grow as a person, while also I'm meeting all these people from around the world. We have our annual session where I make new friends every year. It's really just a community, and I love feeling as a part of the community.
Sure.
So.
Probably the confidence that it brings to young women throughout their Job's Daughter career, starting from age, let's say 7, from when little kids can become bees in the States, all the way up to 20. Their confidence grows, their ability to speak and their ability to preside in a meeting just blooms within.
Yeah, we have a Bethel that meets in our building, doing a lot of good stuff. What I always found interesting about Job's Daughters is when they come to stuff, I'll see a new Joby join, very young, maybe 10, sometimes younger. What's the starting age?
Is 10.
10. And then you see them and they're shy and they speak, I wouldn't say poorly, but maybe that's the best word. And then you'll see them a couple of years later and it's like a different person. There's a level of confidence and ability to take charge and lead on things and do stuff, which I think is always very impressive.
I agree.
Yes.
So we have 19 positions in Job's Daughters, and some of them start with not much responsibility, and then they work up to leading and running, whether that's the devotions of the Bethel or being recorder or honored queen and presiding over the meeting. So girls have the opportunity to grow at a pace which suits them. So for me, I'm very talkative, and so from the get-go, I was straight into all the talking positions like recorder, reading the minutes every meeting. Whereas for some girls, they start off with custodian, so all they have to say is what their duties and responsibilities are, and it really helps girls learn, and it's a cyclical process, so you're only in the one position for 6 months.
Yes.
So girls are constantly learning new things, their brain is growing and adapting to different information, and that's why I think that growth happens.
Yep. And it's cool that you have young girls and young women who can mentor one another and help, not everyone has a big sister that can help them talk through whatever could come up, that, to have that in the room, to have people that can actually help young girls grow into young women is, I think, invaluable too.
Yeah, Job's Daughters really is a community, and
a family.
Yeah, we thrive on mentorship. So I'm very grateful that when I was 10 years old, I was able to have girls that I could look up to and who I could go to for advice and encouragement. And now I can be that person for the younger members. And although after my time as Miss International is done, I will be transitioning onto council, I can still support the girls and even encourage our older members to continue that support and encouragement. So yes, yeah.
So my older sister was in Job's Daughters, but growing up, I always had these girls that I always looked up to, and it was always girls who were in leadership positions. And I was always I want to be like them one day. I'm gonna be like them one day. And then I became Miss Missouri, and I had all these younger members come up to me, and they were like, "I'm gonna be Miss Missouri like you are when I'm older." And so it's just a full circle moment that I was that one girl, and now I am that girl for those younger members.
Awesome. If anyone's interested in Job's Daughters, how do they find out more info?
You can visit us on Instagram, Job's Daughters International, or you can visit our website, jobsdaughtersinternational.org.
One question before you ladies leave. What is the most valuable lesson about leadership that you have learned while being a Job's Daughter?
I think the most valuable lesson I've learned is patience. When Job's Daughters is an organization with people who learn at different paces, people whose confidence are at different phases. And so being patient with a girl while she's growing and supporting her in every phase that she's in is, I really do believe, one of the best attributes that a leader can have. And so I'm definitely someone who doesn't like puzzles and things because they take lots of time. And so it's challenged me to really grow. And I wouldn't be the leader I am today if I hadn't had Job's Daughters to push me to become more patient and understanding of the way people learn and the way they grow.
Yes, I 100% agree with Lucy. Patience is like the key part, and especially being confident in that girl who is learning her new piece for the meeting. It might be her very first Bethel meeting back, and she's like, she might be struggling a little bit. Just being like patient and having confidence in her can help strengthen her own confidence.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to come down and join us today and talk on a podcast. There's a lot of people are going to listen to, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. It was fun.
Absolutely.
So fun.
All right, we have a special guest joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Angelique Mann, and I've been in Masonry, well, the Masonic family, 15 years now, and I am a past worthy matron of Alpha Chapter Number 1, Order of the Eastern Star in New York City. I'm also a past First Lady for Grottos International. My husband was Grand Monarch, Victor Mann, and I am here today representing the Daughters of Mokana. My title currently is Supreme Lala, which is the second highest in the organization. In September, I will be installed as Supreme Mighty Chosen One.
Oh.
Which is what I'm told is one of the best titles in Masonry.
That is a great title. You said that title and I was like, whoa, that's a fun one. I like that.
The Daughters of Mokana is, and we were established June 5th, 1919 in Rock Island, Illinois. We have about 20 different locations and just over 500 members.
Right on.
So we've reduced in membership over the years, just like everyone else, but we're rebuilding. We've actually started 7 new locations in the last 4 years.
I was going to say the Grotto has been on an upswing lately. I feel like the Grotto is really making a comeback in Masonry, so I assume you guys would benefit from that as well, being attached to the Grotto.
Absolutely. The Grottos have actually started 50 new locations in 5 years.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part about being a part of the Daughters?
The Daughters of Mokana is extraordinarily laid back and a lot of fun. Our demographic is a lot younger than Eastern Star and everything. We have opened up our membership, and it used to be that you had to be related to a Grotto member or a Master Mason, and we've opened it up that you can be referred. So that has dramatically increased our membership. And We're finding we're getting a lot of really good ladies who have always been interested in it but haven't had an avenue to get in.
Right.
What's nice about that is like a support system and a place for ladies to hang out and connect to the Grotto is if you let someone in who doesn't necessarily have a perfect blood relation of some sort, but via recommendation, that can also provide interest into anything within the Masonic sphere, too, because it's like a nice little casual way to come in and hang out with some cool people, and then you get introduced to the Masonic family in a way, too, which is kind of nice, to be honest.
Absolutely, and it's really good because we have the same charity that the Grotto has, which is the Humanitarian Foundation. So we help special needs children with dental procedures. So that's something that the ladies really enjoy being involved in.
Well, that's nice that you guys, both the Grotto and the Daughters, support the same charity, so it's more of a connection there, and you guys can actually work together and really make a difference. I know we have Artaban Grotto not far from us. Neither of us have taken that plunge yet, though.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, they really do have a good time. So my husband is here if you'd like to speak with him about becoming prophets of the Grotto. I'm sure he'd welcome it.
We'll get him eventually.
He seemed a little shyer than you, so he recommended you come on first.
So we're staring at him, laughing at him, and he's just like, all right. Well, thank you for coming on, spend a couple minutes with us. Just tell us a little bit more about the Daughters of, I keep trying to remember how to pronounce it.
It's the Daughters of Mokana.
Mokana. Daughters, Mokana. God, I keep looking at him like I don't want to botch it. Because I'm serially known for botching Wisconsin city names already, and I live in Wisconsin, so I'm just bad at pronunciation. So.
Well, if anybody's interested in learning more, we do have a Facebook page.
Sure.
And we do have a website. It's daughtersofmokana.com.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
stopping
much. This
on.
has been
Awesome.
wonderful. It's nice to meet you,
Appreciate
gentlemen.
it.
Meet you as well.
Thank you.
My name is Bruce Newbar. I am Mason in Western Pennsylvania. I belong to Shiloh Lodge 601. What brought me into Masonry was just kind of the secrecy of it, and a couple people that I knew that were Masons that were just great people. So I asked them a question, and then the process started. Took quite a while for it to come around because, as you know, everybody says the Masons are a secret organization.
Right.
They're really not. It's a private organization, and it's been that way forever.
Yep.
To get into it, you have to ask people, you know. And today it's even changed a little bit because they will ask you if you want to join the Masons, and then you start the process. So it is a little different today than it was 40 years ago. And it's not a secret organization. It's just got some private things in it. But when I joined the Masons back in 1980, I couldn't talk in front of people. Today, I'm the Supreme Tall Cedar. Tall Cedars of Lebanon International, and I can talk in front of 300 people if I had to.
And you're talking on a podcast.
And I can even talk on a podcast. That would make me very nervous 40 years ago.
Right. I totally sympathize with you on that because I came into Masonry deathly afraid of public speaking as well. And then, it forces you to develop that skill set.
Correct.
You know.
It's not. There's things within it that if you decide to do it, you have to memorize some stuff and you have to talk in front of people, and you start a little bit at a time, and then all of a sudden, you know, that fear kind of it never goes away.
Right.
But it gets a little bit easier.
Right.
Well, and if you think about it, you get to practice in a safe space amongst your brothers, whereas your friends that you're practicing with, but it still makes it easier then, so that when you go into an actual public space with no one you know, you've been practicing in a lodge amongst your brothers. So it's like a nice stepping stone to get up to that too.
Well, and that's correct. You know, you got a small group of people, and then it gets a little bit bigger, and then you get asked to maybe talk at a banquet, and you try to decide, well, should I write notes down? Should I not write notes down? Should I do it off the cuff? And then when you get done, you sit back and say, okay, did I sound like an idiot, or did everything turn out okay?
Right.
So I guess most of the time it turned out okay because I never heard a lot of bad things.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
That's correct.
So you being the tallest of cedars in the Tall Cedars International, are you able to tell us more about that? We don't have that in our jurisdiction, so I'm interested to know more about your organization.
Okay. The Tall Cedars is an organization that started back in the 1800s. Just a group of guys in the New Jersey area that wanted to get together and have some fun.
Okay.
And that's what it was based on originally, fun, frolic, and fellowship.
Yeah.
In the early 1900s, they finally did all the work to put the organization together, became official. In 1950, we actually partnered with Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Okay.
In 51, Jerry Lewis started with the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Okay? So we've been working with the Muscular Dystrophy Association for over 70 years. We had a great relationship. We were on all the telethons. He used to call the Tall Cedars the guys with the funny hats. And that's what kind of set us different. Now we had the big checks that we gave and everything.
Right.
So about 3 years ago, we found out that there's a lot of people afflicted with neuromuscular diseases that have issues that are not covered by insurance.
Oh, man.
So even though the research is extremely important, okay, we actually changed our focus to assist these adults and children with neuromuscular diseases to help them with some of the issues that they have that aren't covered by insurance. For example, say you have a child that has to go to Boston or to one of the other hospitals to get a procedure done, and it's not covered by insurance, and they can't go because they can't afford the flight, okay? We have a very easy process that they can go onto our website, fill out an application, very simple application, put down what they have in their the disease, you know, the prognosis, tell us what they need, what it's going to cost. Our foundation approves it. they'll pay the check directly to the airport. Some of the other things that we do is say they need to fix their bathroom in their home and make it handicapped.
Right.
Because the child can no longer get into a regular bathroom.
Yeah.
Or they need a deck rebuilt, or they need a ramp.
Right.
We will hire a contractor to go in and fix that so that the child can have a better life, or the adult. I keep saying child because it used to be just children.
Sure.
We've now added adults into
That's awesome.
the process also. Some of the other things we do is, I have a family I'm working with right now that is in need of a foldable electric wheelchair because they can't transport the big electric wheelchair when he goes places. So I'm working with them right now. Just have to get them to fill out the application. That's a very important part of the process. Once that gets done and gets taken care of, then we move on to buy the product for them, and their life gets to be just a little bit easier. Okay? And that's really the focus of what we want to do.
Right.
And I'll say again, research is extremely important. Extremely important, okay? But helping somebody today, think about it. If you give money to Muscular Dystrophy Association or anything like that, 2 days after you write your check, you go back to work and you do your business till next Labor Day, and then you know you're going to write a check out again and you're going to help research. If you're able to help a child or an adult that's living with a neuromuscular disease and you just made their life a little bit easier, that's in your heart the rest of your year.
Right.
Now, the problem that we have is HIPAA. We cannot ask families if they need help. We can't do it. So we have these cards, and I gave you one of the cards with the information on it. And we give these cards out. They have a QR code and an email address on it. That gives us a little bit of information as to what we do. We want you to pass them out to anybody you can, hospitals, doctors, churches, pharmacies, any place that somebody might see them. When they see it, they pick it up. They can then give it to whoever they know that's afflicted with it. That's who has to get in touch with us.
Right.
Once they get in touch with us, then hopefully they do all they need to do so that they can get the help immediately.
Right.
And then you, as an initiator, can sit back and say, you know what? I helped that person do that. If you're a Mason, you might say, well, you know, I think I might check into this Tall Cedar group because I want to be more involved in this particular issue. Now, on the Masonic world, there's a lot of different appendant bodies, and they're all good appendant bodies, the Shrine, the Grotto, the Tall Cedars. But as an organization itself, we're kind of all the same. What sets us apart is our charity, and every Masonic organization has a charity. Okay? So you look at the charity that works best with what you want to do in your life. If it's help people today, then the Tall Cedars does that. Shrine does that through their hospitals. But this is, you're actually helping people that need the help and they don't know where to go. Maybe they're at their wits' end because they got a child that they just can't help. And that feeling has to be strong. Now, we do still donate to smaller organizations that do research. There's one that's called Helping Hands and things like that, or Helping Hearts. We do still get involved and donate money to those organizations also, okay? But we need to find the kids that need the help. And you know, if you're listening to the podcast, go on to the tallcedars.org website. You'll see the Tall Cedar Foundation. All the information's out there. And if you're a Mason, get in touch with us. We'd love to have you join the organization.
I do have a quick question, moving a little bit away from the charity element and more about Tall Cedars themselves. If I remember correctly from hearing about Tall Cedars vaguely in the past, you guys call it a forest, right?
That is correct.
All right. How many forests do you guys have worldwide?
I'm going to say we probably have about 114.
Okay. All right. That's a good number.
We have one in England, we have 3 in South America, we have 1 in Mexico, and then most of our forests, unfortunately, are in the eastern and southeastern part of the United States. We have some that we did open and are opening up in states, and one of the reasons we're here today is to talk to the Grand Masters of the states we're not in to see if we can get approval to get in those states.
Right.
And hopefully, because of our charity, you know, we'll even help people in their states, even if we're not in their states.
Right.
But if we could get in there, that just makes it easier to get involved with.
To find the people who need the help, too.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to find them. That's the hardest part of what we're doing now.
Right.
We have a significant amount of money to help these people. Okay, so we're still looking for money. We're always doing our rose sale and things like that to raise for the Muscular
Right.
Dystrophy Fund.
Right.
But we're poised very well to help people around the country, around the world that have neuromuscular diseases and make their lives just a little bit easier. And again, that's why I'm so excited about it,
Right.
because you're helping people.
Yeah. No, that's an amazing charitable, thing that you guys do. And given you had said you've been around since the late 1800s, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Given that, I'm surprised that there are still jurisdictions you don't exist in. But I think that's something that perhaps some of our listeners out there may be interested in trying to change. And I'm assuming they could find information on how to go about bringing a forest to their jurisdiction.
Correct.
If they contacted somebody, which I'm sure contact info is on the
Yeah,
website.
if they go on the website, tallcedars.org, it has a list of our officers on there. They can get in touch with any of our officers.
Okay.
It also there's a tab that shows the Tall Cedar Foundation. That gives you more information about the charity and what we do and how we go out and deal with all these particular issues. But we'd love to hear from anybody. You know somebody that might have one of these diseases, have them give us a call or send us an email.
Right.
We will get back to them because that's our goal. Our goal is to help people have a better life today than they had yesterday.
Awesome.
And that's our focus.
So
And we have fun along the way, too.
Yeah, some frolic along the way.
That's it.
Right.
And to our listeners, if you know anyone with muscular dystrophy, tallcedars.org sounds like the place to check out.
Right.
But awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
stopping on,
Yeah.
Bruce. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
I'm Harrison Singer, Singer Media Group. What got me into Masonry, I've always loved the esoteric, down YouTube wormholes and listening to podcasts. And I met a guy. We went golfing as part of a Masonic kind of recruitment event, and we started talking about Rosicrucianism. And I was worried that some of that wasn't still in Masonry, but we just hit it off, and he's become one of my kind of big brother and mentors in the craft, and it's been a great experience.
Awesome.
So once you joined, how long have you been a Mason?
3 years.
3 years. What keeps you coming back to Masonry?
The camaraderie, the fun nights, the dinners, smoking a cigar after lodge. Yeah, it's just the friends you make along the way.
And what part, as an esoteric Mason, what part of Masonic philosophy really resonates with you?
I'd say self-determination. The fact that we're not too pigeonholed into one religion or another. So there's a place to kind of talk openly and be on the level with other men. Hear what works for them, and kind of, I almost believe, kind of create your own philosophy, your own religion based on things that you like from other places. So I've never been orthodox in anything.
Yeah.
And so I think Masonry gives me an opportunity to meet Muslims and meet Buddhists and, kind of come together under one roof and share a meal and have some deep conversations.
Which jurisdiction are you from?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So 3 years. Are you in the officer line at your lodge at all, or no? Haven't ventured down that road
I'm
yet?
moving. So my wife and I just bought a house. She's from Arizona, so we're moving down there. So
Okay.
starting to shop a little bit. So I went to a couple lodges out there where they wear cowboy hats, and the Duke's Lodge, which is kind of cool.
Nice. There's some history there.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. All right, that just went on the bucket list. I didn't realize his lodge was still around.
Oh,
that's cool.
They got John Wayne posters everywhere. They got his petition framed.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
That's on the Masonic bucket list now. Awesome. Well, that's a big move, like full on, almost completely cross country.
Yes,
Holy cow.
wildly different. Found a scorpion outside. Don't have to mow my lawn, but it's very different.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
So within your mother lodge, what would you say you think they do very, very well as a lodge?
There's one cool thing that they do. They're very good with ritual, and we've won awards for it, or recognition, or whatever they call it. But they play Spotify playlists or music when we're kind of opening the Bible.
In place of a musician, yep.
Yeah, and it just creates kind of this ritual feel. And I've heard it compared to kind of the tea ceremony, that Buddhists or people do in the Orient.
Okay.
They kind of take their time opening the pages and arranging everything, and it just becomes very ritualized, like you're stepping into a different world. And I think we do a really good job of just honoring that.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a musician who sometimes shows up, and he will play either we have an accordion, an organ, pipe organ in there. He'll play that sometimes, or he brings in his guitar, his electric guitar sometimes, and just plays like riffy music. So we'll do a little bit of that. But I've always struggled with my musicians to encourage them to play something more haunting. Is what I want. I'm like, I want it to be haunting her. And then there's like doom 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 doom, and there's like jam, and I'm like, have fun. I like it though. I just like having music there in general. But
I am gonna correct you on one thing, so people don't think we're uber swanky. We have an electric organ, not a pipe organ.
Oh, you're right. An electric organ. Yes. I know they're all called pipe organs.
We're not that swanky of a lodge.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's cool too. And it's something that's really important in the craft when a lodge can have a group of men who enjoy that type of culture to create that space. Because when we shut the door of the lodge, we are sealing ourselves in a time capsule, more or less.
Yes.
And so creating that illusion really can have it makes the opening and closing not just a formality. It makes it a deeper experience. And I do an education piece that I've done around a couple of lodges on the importance of opening and closing a lodge.
Yes.
And what function it serves is reorienting people, synchronizing people together on the same thing, reminding us of everything we do in every degree and who you are as a Mason, and how if you don't go to lodge and you don't get to see the opening and closing, you start to drift away, and it's how you recenter every month. Like, bring it back to center. You're a Mason. This is what we do in the world. This is our stuff. And so I love when lodges do stuff like that, for sure.
Me too. I love what you said, recentering, because I think ritual is kind of missing from our modern world. And I think Masonry is doing a good job of kind of bringing some of that back.
Well, or keeping it where it's always
absolutely.
been. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Especially when you think of like the initiatic experience. Like every society, traditionally, folk tradition-wise, had some form of initiation for men. I mean, you'll see it still in the Jewish community on bat mitzvah, or the male and female version, or
it's too young.
Quinceañera.
It's too young.
Yeah, but now it's like there's no way to say like you are an adult.
Right.
You need to become a grown person. You have responsibilities to yourself and society. So go forth and do that.
Exactly.
Welcome.
Right.
And Masonry, I think, does a good job at that, too.
Right. Like you're saying, ancient societies always had that moment where you become a man. Whether they put you out in the wilderness and you got to hunt for yourself.
Stung by bees or something. Whatever it is. Yep.
But you're right. Nowadays, it's like, how do you know you're a man?
Yeah. You never feel like there's that before and after transition.
Exactly.
Where there's a defining moment. At this day, I have to set my silly things aside to a certain extent.
Right.
And go to the work of being an adult.
Yes.
Masonry is a good job. I mean, I joined Masonry when I was nearly 30. I think that was the only time I became an adult. Now I'm like 34.
It's still questionable.
Yeah, that's fair. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming down for a quick interview, Harrison.
Yeah, pleasure, guys.
Appreciate
it.
I'm Marty Haley. I am the Deputy Grand Monarch of Grottos International, a 43-year Mason, charter past master of Serenity Lodge number 1462 down in Santa Fe, Texas. A Mason and having a ball doing it.
Heck yeah. So you are the Deputy Grand of the Grotto. What made you fall in love with the Grotto so much to put yourself in this position to have all these problems?
Oh man, it's an 8-year-long line to get up to be to be the Grand Monarch. But I started a grotto down in Texas for a way for guys, my friends, Masons, all of them, to where we could get together and have an adult beverage and raise money for the poor crippled children and be in the parades and other things that it's a little hard to do as a lodge, but the grotto was the perfect platform. So I started a grotto called Wahoo Grotto with my friends, and since then, grotto in Texas, that was the 6th grotto in Texas. One of them being 110 years old. Oh. But it was the 6th grotto in Texas. Now we have 18 grottos in Texas and 5 more on the books. Grotto is growing phenomenally. And it's because we are small in location, just over a county in each one of them. But it's a place for your friends and guys from other lodges to go. And we're family friendly. Bring your wife, bring your kids and grandkids, and throw candy from the parades. Dress them up as clowns, too. You got a master guy who you wish would ask for a petition? Put him on the grotto float. Put his kids on there, too. We are all about supporting symbolic craft masonry and an adult beverage every now and again.
One thing that I always found very interesting about the grotto, from my experience talking with members, is it sounds like if you took the shrine in a Blue Lodge and combined it where it's like, hey, the shrine's this big building, a lot of people, too much stuff going on. You want something a little more intimate, but still doing good work, having fun. It's like a little bit like the locations are a lot smaller, so it feels like a Blue Lodge where you can actually get to know everybody in your grotto, but still do all this good charity work and have a good time along the way doing fun events and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I thought was most intriguing, is it gives an alternate where you're like, the shrine does great work, but I want something a little different. And it gives them another outlet to do something that suits someone else's fancy in a better way, I think.
You're absolutely right on that. With this keeping to a smaller geographical footprint, like Houston has 5 grottos in it now, it lets you be friends. It helps keep politics out, and we've all seen what politics do to bigger organizations. But the other thing is, the shrine, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but their rule book is about 1.25 inches thick. The Grand Lodge of Texas's rule book, about 1.25 inches thick. The Grand Lodge, any of them, they have these huge rule books because they're all top-down. And I can go to a lodge meeting anywhere, and I know what I'm going to see before I go in the door. Same thing with the other appendant bodies. Our rule book is 156 pages. And most of that's on how to ballot, which means that your grotto can be what masonry needs in your area. Victor's grotto is tuxedos and cummerbunds and going out to dine at fine restaurants. My grotto is red noses, twisting animal balloons, and driving little cars in parades. And everywhere in between. Every grotto I visited, it's different. It has its own character. It has what they need to do in their area. Another thing is grotto will let you do local charities. All the other appendant bodies, and probably your Grand Lodge, says if you have a raffle and raise money, it has to go to their specific charity. Now, we do have a charity, the Grotto Humanitarian Foundation for Dentistry for Special Needs Children. If you need to put an air conditioner in a lodge or a new roof on it to keep masonry going, that's your number one priority. If you have children and local charities that need your help, that's your priority. Don't forget about our kids. But raise the money, help the locals, and cut a portion of it off, 15, 20%, and send up to the Grotto Humanitarian Foundation to help the children with our special needs dentistry.
Well, and what's interesting with that, too, so in my jurisdiction, the Blue Lodge, it's very similar to what you're doing at your grottos. We can do whatever charities that we want if we raise money. There's not that much requirements on it, which gives us the freedom to actually identify places that our community needs help and know where to apply pressure and aid that actually can make a difference. And I think it's cool, too, that with the grottos having less big footprints, individual members' voices actually matter in the direction of the culture of their grotto and what they want to do, which I think is something that I think is a big draw for people who are interested in the grotto, too.
Oh, it's a huge draw. We've started in 52 grottos in the last 5 years, and 3 more that we're going to give a charter to before June. So that'll be 55 grottos. That's 11 per year. Nobody's experiencing that kind of growth. And it's for a reason. We're letting guys have fun. Number one on the list, have fun. But be outside of that building. I spend 9 days at the county fair twisting balloons for kids with everyone's Masonic banner hanging up so that people can see that the Shriner, the Grottos, the Blue Lodge, the Eastern Star, Rainbow Girls, D-Malay are all the same people. The Easter egg hunt at my little town. We've got 3 clowns out there every year. We have a Take Time to Read program. We have a Fantastic Teeth program that the Grotto will administer. And so, because we're out in the public, we're getting petitions. The year I was senior warden in my lodge, we raised 19 Master Masons.
Wow.
That was 175 tiled meetings. And right after, we created a daylight lodge to give the rest of us a break. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, one lodge meets Friday night, the next one meets Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And biscuits and gravy from scratch. And I'm the chief biscuit maker.
The biscuiteer.
Yeah. I'm going to get a T-shirt made with that. But it all stems from getting outside of our building. Yeah. The 12 stated meetings, I can sit next to somebody in a stated meeting I'm a 43-year Mason, and I have sat next to guys 43 years. We're acquaintances. Mm-hmm. When you get out, and it doesn't matter if you're smoking briskets together, twisting balloons, whatever, is entertaining in an adult special needs facility, or we even go up to the Shrine Hospital, the Burn Center for Christmas and clown out. But when you're doing things like that, that's when I get to know that you fish, that you goose hunt, that you used to drive a dragster, all of these little things in our backgrounds that we don't come up in a stated meeting. And we build these bonds that are the basis of the friendships, and friendship is really our product. It's
or
not
we could
ritual,
say
time for fellowship. You guys are nailing it. But for decades, Masonry's been on a curve of doing less and less and getting less and less results. And as you remove each activity from the lodge's calendar, and then they all have the same complaints. They go, we've got 3 guys that do everything. Nobody else helps. Yeah, we're getting petitioners, but they're not becoming Master Masons. Oh, we're getting Master Masons, but for 2 years, and then they go to 2 meetings, and then they're gone. These are the same problems, no matter where I'm visiting.
Yep.
And that's because they're doing less. Now, where Grotto comes in is, say we're over a Masonic district, and the Masonic district has 8 lodges, and in each district, and there's 6 adjacent Masonic districts. That's quite a few little lodges. But if I can get this lodge is 3 guys that do everything, and the 2 new ones who are wanting to do something, let's face it, we joined Masonry to do something. It wasn't to sit there and vote. From each of them and bring them into the grotto.
Yeah.
We're seeing fantastic results in Texas. Because now that they've done things together, they're friends, so they visit each other's lodges.
They don't want to let each other down by not hanging out. Yeah.
You know, my buddy's going to be at Park Place tomorrow. I got to be there.
Yep.
And so you get the interaction between the lodges. And, hey, it's hunting season. I need someone that can do a master's lecture. And so you call your other buddies. Hey, I need someone to give a lecture over here for a master's degree. And all of my guys are at deer camp. And so they build this. And then, one of the lodges needs new air conditioners. And they don't have a way to raise the money for it. Well, the grotto will do it. With their help, you can sponsor a raffle through your local grotto. And let's get a new roof on that building. Let's get a new air conditioner. Let's preserve Masonry. And so, it is growing beyond my ability to imagine it right now. Last year when I looked at the numbers, we were up almost 25% in membership through COVID. The period would have been 9 years. It's amazing.
That is.
Who can say that?
Who has stats like that?
Yeah, the stats are crazy. And some of it's branching out into foreign countries. We're in 5 countries now. But the main growth that started in New York and in Texas has the ripples go through the pond. And we're starting new ones in New Jersey and Florida, California.
Got the new one in Wisconsin, the Artaban.
Yeah, we got Artaban in Wisconsin. That came after Wahoo.
Yeah.
And Chi-Il came after Wahoo in Illinois. They have peppered across the entire country. Places where if you'd asked even their Grand Lines, no, Masonry is in the decline and nothing we can do. No.
There's something you can do.
Yeah. And let's get some of these young, energetic guys, might not be ready to serve in the Grand Line of their Masonic jurisdiction, but they're coming to Grotto, and they're making friends, and they're putting together votes, and they're preparing themselves to be a Grand Line officer. They're your future Grand Line. These guys are inspired with Masonry. And when I started Little Wahoo Grotto, I had no idea any of this was going to come
You'd be stuck
forth.
with the job you have now.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, we want to have a crawfish boil, and you got to have beer to have a crawfish boil, and you can't, can't have beer as a Masonic Lodge. What can we do?
Yeah.
And I called the Grand Monarch of Grotto. If I had a grotto, do you think we could do this? Oh, absolutely. I go, what do I got to do? He goes, well, you need 12 members for dispensation. And I go, yeah, I can do that. He goes, 25, you get a charter. I got 82 guys.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And when we started Wahoo, and we're on the internet, everybody, Marty Haley, Facebook friend me, and see what we're doing. We have the Grand Fez off. Shriners versus Grotto up
That's
at the
fun.
Shiner Brewery in Grotto. 5 years in a row. Last year, the Shrine was bussing guys in. Still beat them by like 2 Fezzes. But it's fun. We're all together. It's a friendly competition. And the Grand Master has to wear a black or a red fez, all depending on who brought the most guys. So the Grand Master, who is a member of Wahoo Grotto, a charter member, as a matter of fact, got to wear his Wahoo Grotto Grand Master fez for the rest of the evening. But we do fun things like that, you know. And in Galveston, the Galveston Burn Center, Shrine Hospital, has a Mardi Gras parade every year. And it's tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But I'm here. But all of my guys are going to have their little cars, their floats, the clowns, their wives, their granddaughters are all going to be in that parade supporting Masonry. And the Grotto we've been having a ball. We've been doing it for 15 years. As a matter of fact, we got to do it before we even had a charter by dispensation. What we were doing in the parade brought down an edict that every shrine in Texas had to participate in the parade, which was all I really wanted. Because some years we were the only Masons there.
Get some more Masons on site.
That's right. And I went around and aired up their tires and filled their tanks with gasoline, and we had a great time. We all got together later and had a couple of adult beverages. And the camaraderie. I know what we're doing here this weekend is important, but my heart's going to be down there at the Mardi Gras.
Last question for you. What's your clown name?
Marty. Because it doesn't matter, man.
I love
I'm
a
the
good
same
clown
guy
name.
with the grease paint or without it. I love it. I really do. We're giving balloon twisting lessons to the Rainbow Girls over here today. Because I showed up with 250 balloons. I don't know about the rest of these guys.
Do you show up anywhere without a single balloon? You got to have one on you at all times.
You got to be healed.
Awesome. Well, Marty, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your passion about the Grotto. I'm sure our listeners will be excited to hear about it, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having
Thanks
me.
for coming on, Marty. Sorry I joined a little late there. I must smell or something, because every time I step away, you seem to get a guest to come to sit down.
People just like me.
He's a personable guy. What grotto do you belong to?
I'm not one yet, but I've been tempted.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You talk about a problem I can fix. We'll see you both later. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Take care.
Have a good one. Thanks for stopping on.
All right, we have a special guest coming down. This might be the first time a brother has found me in the wild and listens to our show. We have Brother Adam from Illinois here. Adam, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. How about you?
Good, good. So you told me before we came on that you're a new Mason. What got you into Masonry?
Actually, 2 tables down, and then on the other side is the electronic adverts. So I saw it on Instagram, and so I clicked on that because I was curious, followed it, and then it's funny seeing these different groups here today.
It's kind of cool that you get to come to Conference of Grand Master. You said you're a Mason for how long?
I've been a Mason for about a year and a half, but I got my third degree the 28th of January.
Wow,
so it's been
you're really
couple
fresh.
Weeks. Yeah.
So what have you been liking about Masonry so far? This is kind of a cool experience as a new Mason to see the breadth of Masonry West Coast wide.
Honestly, with like the virus happening and a lot of social outlets that I had closing up, mixed with just the quality of those meetups was subpar. So coming out of that, it was a lot of lonely and go to the office, come home, nothing really
Rinse,
substantial.
repeat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing when I went to a dinner, I wasn't even a member, just the welcome atmosphere, the brotherly, the happy I was to see me, and they just met me. That is what kind of pulled me in, along with I'm a father and I want to be better for my son, and so being able to have a group of brothers and gentlemen and people wanting to help me be the best version of myself I can be, that really struck home for me.
Heck yeah. I got some good advice for you. So, you're a new Mason, and you got brethren from all different age groups and experiences. There's a couple of cool dad things you can do. One, dad advice, great. Two, if you have health insurance and you have to compare them, you can bring them to lodge and slap it on a table, and there will be opinions. And that can be helpful to get. But it is cool because any experience that you're going through in your various ages, there's someone in the room who's probably been through something similar. And you can be like, hey, man, how do I be an adult right now? And they're like, oh, yeah, I've been there. You got to change your water heater out like now. And you're like, okay, thank you, and stuff like that. So you never really know. What do they got you doing here? I was here with the Grand Lodge.
I'm volunteering as just kind of flex. And so they stuck me at the questions right before.
They voluntold you to the questions, right
before registration. So it's just been the first point of contact for a lot of people coming in. I remember I shook someone's hand from Germany.
Yeah.
That was cool. Someone from Hawaii, just seeing the breadth of how far it reaches. One of our sister lodges in the same building has people from the Philippines, so I knew about them, but just kind of where exactly everyone else is coming from has been really cool and eye-opening.
Yeah, it's really fun. So when I was a newer Master Mason, maybe a little over a year and a half in, the Conference of Grand Master came up to Milwaukee. And I was doing the same job you're doing, where the Grand Lodge had asked me to help some people from our lodge to come help with like merch. So we were selling like cannons and things and hats, Stormy Cromer hats. And the funny thing is, when we were there, it was such a great experience for me as a new Mason. We had Grandmasters hanging out at our booth for like half an hour. So we were basically like the virtual lodge because it was all our brothers, and we hit overstaffed. So there was like 7 of us at a table this big. And I was like, we did too much. Yeah. And so people would come after their long meetings and be like, I just want to talk with some brothers. And we were like, we are those brothers. And we would talk with them for like hours, and we talked to, Hawaii, same kind of thing. And it was, to me, similar to how you're describing, one of those cool experiences where you're like, wow, this is worldwide, huh?
Yeah.
And you get to meet people, and you almost, have you found already that you can talk to these people and it feels like you've known them?
Yeah, it's, as I said, before I found that reel on Instagram, it was very isolating, where it was just me and my family in our small little bubble. But the thing that drew me to my first lodge, that kept me going, was not only myself, but my son was welcomed like he was part of the lodge, and was 7 at the time. Mm-hmm. And here at the same time, I walked up to you, shook your hand, and like, hey, let's chat. And it's been kind of a conversation like we're old friends and stuff. So it's just the atmosphere of belonging.
Yeah.
With just the fact that we all had to kind of do the same thing.
The fraternal tie, the sacred tie.
Well, that's the beauty of a shared experience, right? It gives you a common bond to start out with, and then wherever the friendship or relationship's going to go from there, it can just continue to develop because you already have a base foundation of something in common.
And you almost know a lot about the person to begin with. You know what they value.
Yeah.
You go, they are somebody who has similar values that I do. They want to make themselves better. They sit in the same kind of meetings that I do. They talk about pancakes sometimes. We can work with this.
Yeah.
And then right from there, you're able to find out what else you have in common. It makes it, you skip as brothers the acquaintance step, the awkward acquaintance step, because you're like, who's this guy? What do I talk about? You're like, talk about what was going on in Lodge this week. And then they'll talk about what they're doing. And then suddenly they talk about having a motorcycle. Then this guy wants to ride your motorcycle. And then next thing you know.
It's like a free pass past that icebreaker kind of awkward phase when you're in a room.
Yep, absolutely. It's fun. So, Matt, you missed out. This is the first fan who's ever approached us from the wild. Who
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
He's from Illinois, who listened to our podcast without knowing us first.
Nice. I do want to go on record, though, to pair with something you said. I would never try to ride another man's motorcycle. I don't do that.
I thought that's what you guys did. I thought that's what Becker's boys did. So
No.
Awesome. Well, Adam, thank you for coming on for a quick interview. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being a fan of the show.
Awesome. Wonderful to meet you. Sorry I came in late.
No, that's okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm Ana Maria Delgado.
And I'm Sam Workman.
And we're part of Rainbow.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Rainbow Girls? What's the deal? What do you like about it? Any thoughts on the Rainbow Girls?
So we're a youth organization for young girls aged 10 through 20, and we focus a lot on service and leadership and public speaking. It's really just basically a big family of a bunch of sisters.
In Rainbow, we focus on trying to help our community better with service and public speaking, like Anna Maria said. So we have girls of different ages helping each other.
So what would you say your favorite part about Rainbow is?
My favorite part is just the amount of sisters I get. I've had older sisters who have helped me through things, and I now get younger sisters that I can help with.
I like all the service projects and how everybody turns up for each one.
What kind of service projects you guys doing?
Lately we've made cat toys and medicine bags for a shelter.
Oh, cool.
And my private assembly, we made dog blankets and dog beds for our local shelter.
Cool. What do you think you took away most so far from your experience in Rainbow?
Just my confidence. I was not able to speak at all when I was younger, and then Rainbow came along and helped me a lot.
Same. I was more of a shyish girl. Now I am a little willing to go and talk to people.
And come on a podcast.
Yeah.
What would you say the core values are of Rainbow?
Of service and leadership, trying to make each other better, help out, and just be there for our community.
I have a good question. What would you say the most fun activity you've done is with Rainbow?
I'd say the sleepovers. They can get a little crazy, and it's just a bunch of girls having fun.
Agreed. I had my first lock-in a few months ago, and we went crazy. We had so much fun.
Are you part of the local Rainbow chapter in this area?
So we're from Arizona.
Okay.
We have, I think, 7 assemblies. And yeah, we're both part of Grand Assembly, so we help out our local assemblies and then Grand Assembly.
Is there a lot of travel between the various assemblies?
Yes, we do a lot of OVs, which are called official visits, and we'll either do that or sometimes we'll just help out during installations. We'll help call each other and see who wants to help out.
So if our listeners want to find more information about the Rainbow Girls, where do they go?
We have a website, www.iorg.com.
We hope. IORG?
Yes.
IORG.com. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on and joining us for a quick interview.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for letting us do it.
Absolutely. You guys have a good time out here. All right. Well, that is a wrap for day 1 of COGMNA. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to all these great interviews. We will be back again next week, Thursday, as at the time of when this is going to be edited and go out, for day 2 of COGMNA. So please be sure to tune in. And if you have any questions or you need anything, never be afraid to email us at timeforfellowship@gmail.com and follow us on social media to stay up to date. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.